I'm going to tell you what perhaps nobody has told you, and what is very important and vital to understand in today's existence, on this side of our paradigms. All right? And that is that the man-made construct, right? The legal system, and all of its various elements and organisms and what have you, right, is just that, a man-made construct. It is not natural. It is not natural from the standpoint of, or from the sense of, the sun, the grass, the trees that grow, the processes of the seed being planted, watered by the rain, and energized by the sun. The legal construct is not natural. It is, once again, man-made. So if you are trying, right, religiously to discover a normalcy in alignment with the natural order, while also trying to juggle the legal landscape of, let's say, Western society, or wherever you might live under some type of a government, it does not balance. It cannot balance. Okay? Not organically, I should say. All right? Because obviously, there are successful people. There are people who at least believe that they are grounded, centered, as well as being very successful in business in corporate America. There are those people, okay? But for the most part, a lot of us have not figured out the distinction, and I should say the distinctive nature between that which is legal and that which is quote unquote lawful. By lawful, I mean in accordance with the natural law. And again, they do not necessarily mix. Now, with that being said, the secret to success, and I'm not saying that I've obtained ultimate success, but I am on my way, especially in this revelation and understanding, okay? It is that when you can compartmentalize and make the distinction between the natural order and the man construct, or new world order, as it were, when you could properly distinguish between the two, then you will, through, I should say, rational analysis, right, which only human beings have, rational analysis. When you can do that, okay, you won't commingle the two, and therefore you will compartmentalize and separate the legal, right, from the natural. And that way you don't become frustrated with the everyday droning on and on, right? The monotony. You won't become disenfranchised by that because you can properly distinguish between the two. So there's a time for everything, the saying is, right? There's a time for happiness, there's a time for sadness, there's a time for success, right? There's a time for the learning curve, right? And all that comes with that. When you don't, when you weren't cultured or properly taught things, and you're finding yourself in your adult stage, learning and relearning things that you should have learned earlier on in life, right? Okay, so in summation and wrapping it up, make sure that you properly keep the legal man-made constructs on one side of the ledger, and you keep the natural things in their perspective lane. Don't commingle the two, but try to balance the two. I hope you're picking up what I'm putting down. And in doing so, you won't become disenfranchised. You won't become hopeless in this existence, because the two are necessary in today's society. We're not necessarily regressing back to, let's say, primitive ways of living, right? Living outside, maybe taking baths in streams and things like that. We're not doing that any longer, okay? We have moved forward. We have progressed. Man has become more and more innovative, and we're not done yet. It's a perpetual evolution. All right, so what's here this generation won't be in the next generation, perhaps, and so on and so forth. So with that being said, don't commingle the two. Keep them properly separated, but learn how to balance the two. Learn how to turn them off and on like a switch. The legal, man-made construct, and the natural. All right, still properly ground yourself. Shoeless socks, without socks, properly ground yourself. Still absorb the sun. Take that time, put that time aside, to get rooted and grounded back to nature. Go camping, outdoor activities, go fishing, whatever. But then you also realize in turn that vacation is going to end and you're going to go back right into the legal realm, punching the clock, following policies, statutes, codes, ordinances, and what have you. All right? Just accept that that's where we are, but properly learn how to compartmentalize and make the distinction between the two. All right? With that being said, now you've been made free. The question is, what are you going to do with it? Peace.